Dollar bills in my pocket, tight and crumbled up. 50s in my mouth. Got my mother tongue done. When you walk on the set, it's time to check my crack house. My crack house. My crack house. That's his last line. 1, 2 times out of time. Nigga on the ground looking like an egg platter. Gotta show him I ain't faking. That's why I'm out here going hard trying to get this bacon. That's done. If I sacrifice myself in thrills trying to get this meal, will it be in vain or made for me, my future kid and girl? I've been doing this hard since. Fat, nigga, I got money better than I can smell. Gotta figure out how to get this ginger in this damn cup without fucking up. I got it though, I ain't tripping. So, I want to talk about basically flaws. We don't want to talk about it, I know, but we gotta talk about it. Because in order to improve, we got to find our weak spots or things we can improve on. And a good way of finding that is, for one, there, I did it. I got to bear with me for a second. Got to get that ginger in me. For one, you got to be honest with yourself about areas you need to improve in, and then you have to be honest about what's stopping you from improving in those areas. It could be smoking, could be drinking, could be lying, cheating, could be a lot of things, right? So for instance, some people, maybe they're broke and they're like, I'm tired of being broke, man. Can't get a good job, I'm tired of being broke and all this and all that, but they smoke weed all the time, right? Or maybe they smoke crack, I don't know. Maybe they do coke, I don't know. It's different for everybody, but everybody has the same opportunity and right to improve themselves. It doesn't matter if you're a crackhead or not. Your life ain't over. You still can transform and become a businessman. It's possible. Anything's possible with God. It's never over. You know what I'm saying? So some people will say, it ain't the weed, man. I'm tired of my life. Like I say, man, maybe it's not the weed. But then again, maybe it is, right? Maybe it's not you sleeping around. But then again, maybe that is why your life could be in a bad position. The moral is, you really got to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, where can I improve? Or what's stopping me from improving? And that's where a lot of people go wrong. They don't want to do that. Either they don't want to let go of what could be stopping them, or they just don't want to admit it. And then if you say something about it, they get offended. Might just say, fuck the cinnamon, because I can't find this shit. So I might just say, fuck that. Grab this for a second. Trying to do two things at once, safely, you know what I mean? Like, some people might feel they ugly or something, right? You can't change how you look, but at the same time, you can change how you look. Maybe you could lose weight, or maybe you could get, maybe you're a woman and you get your money up a little bit. You could dress yourself up a little bit better. You have beauty. Everybody has beauty. Everybody has looks. You just have to enhance it. Because the reason why everybody has beauty is because looks are subjective. So you might not look good to 1,000 men or women, But the right one or other ones, you might look flawless to you. See what I'm saying? You don't want somebody who don't like you for you anyway. So therefore, the people who feel like you don't look good enough, they're not for you anyway. So it doesn't matter. They're irrelevant. That's why I made that video about looks don't matter, and you still got men telling you that looks matter. No, they don't. Because the reason why looks don't matter is because you want to attract them. And even if you're a woman, matter of fact, because women are just more on looks. So I'm gonna get off of the man part on this one. If you are a woman, your looks don't matter because the right person will be attracted to you. Am I saying that it's okay for you to walk around being 1,000 pounds and shit? No, I'm not saying that. But even then, the right person will still accept it for you. But what I am saying is this. Some of y'all feel like, well, that girl looks like a model, so she's luckier than me. She getting all the men and all that. You're right and you're wrong. She might get a lot of men, but a lot of men that she's getting because of looks, not who she really is. So therefore, it's no different than you if you're not a supermodel and you're getting a man that wants you for sex. It's the same thing. She's still getting men who just want to fuck her, basically. It's the same thing. She just got some more selection, that's all. A lot of y'all men get offended when I talk about shit on here about not sleeping around, stop smoking so much weed, stop drinking so much, and all these things. But deep down inside, in your heart, you know you didn't talk to yourself and told yourself, man, I'm tired of doing this shit. I got to get my shit together. So why do you get mad when somebody motivates or tries to motivate you? This is what you need, instead of being around people who encourage your downfall, who encourage you to keep smoking and drinking. Some of y'all friends know you didn't say you trying to quit smoking, but here this shit, dog. Some of y'all friends know damn well you don't smoke, and they steady always trying to get you to smoke. Steady always trying to get you to go out. If you got a woman or man, trying to get you to go out and mess with other people behind your woman and man's back. You know what I mean? These are not real friends, man. Real friends might tell you what you don't want to hear, but it's what you need to hear. For example, if I have a kid and they suck at basketball, I'm gonna tell them, you ain't good enough yet. This ain't good enough. It don't matter if they go cry in their room or not. Oh well. One day they'll understand why I didn't lie to them and say, "Oh, you're the best, baby." No. You want to be a basketball player or something? Then I'm gonna keep it real with you. You're not good enough yet. You gotta work hard. See, people don't want to hear that truth, man. They don't want to fix those chinks in their armor. And even if let's say you really don't have no chinks in your armor, you still got to keep those. You still got to keep that armor solid. So you still got to improve your armor, make it even stronger. So maybe, okay, you got money. Okay, fine, you got money. You got to make more money. Okay, you don't smoke or drink. You got to keep that. You got to keep it that way because temptation's always there. We all have struggles, you know what I mean? You might not be struggling in this area, and the next person might be struggling. The next person is struggling in, but that doesn't mean that you won't ever have to. You might end up struggling in that same area if you're not careful. A lot of y'all think, oh well, I got it made, I ain't got to worry about it. You know what I mean? I got this shit on deck, man. You know what I mean? I ain't got to worry about shit. You don't know that. Life has a funny way of, you know. If you think that never me, you fuck around and be in that position. A lot of y'all men, oh, never me, man. I can sleep around with any woman I want. I'll never get a woman pregnant and be a baby dad and all this. Or a woman will never say that I raped her and all this and all that. How do you know that? One of the biggest chinks in a lot of men's armor, almost every man's armor, is women. And don't get offended, because I'm not talking about a woman that's actually good for you. I'm talking about women, plural. That's one of y'all biggest chinks. But you're not going to accept that. Why? because you like the sex, because you want to go out and kick it. So you don't want to accept the fact that that might actually be prohibiting you from reaching your full potential as a man, creating that great armor. So what do? You get mad at people when they point shit out. You think they talking about you when they really talking about the situation. You know what I mean? Or instead of you saying, you know what, I'll come back to what he's saying a little bit later. You know what I mean? When I'm more ready to try to address this shit. But for now, I ain't really ready. See, everybody want to talk about I want to be this great person, but they don't want to put in the work to become a great person, man. You got to put in work to become a great person. That's woman or man. If you're a woman watching right now, let's just say, I don't know, man, whatever you want to do as a woman, you could do it just like a man could do it. It just takes time. You got to really want it. And of course, you're going to have to sacrifice something, I guarantee you. Anytime there's something that you want that's great in life, there's some type of sacrifice. It might not be a big one. It might be a small one. Or it might be a big one and not a small one. But either way, you got to sacrifice. Doesn't mean you can't do it though. When I hear people talk about chinks in people's armor, aka drinking, smoking, all the shit that could actually prohibit you from being great, I don't look at it as you're judging me. When women talk about men and the shit men do, I don't look at it as you judging men, you bashing. Nah, I listen. What they talking about? Okay, all right, they don't like this and that. Okay, let me put that down and let me add that to my armor. That's all I do. I just listen to women because ultimately you have to listen to women to understand where they're coming from. And that's the problem with a lot of women. They don't want to listen to us men. Instead, they'll shut up. I'm mad at you. You're bashing women. See, they don't want to listen to the cry of men of what they don't like about women. It doesn't matter if it sounds good to your ears or not. Maybe you should just listen so you can, okay, this is what men don't like. I have to understand men to have a man. So let me listen to what men are talking about. And if it sounds reasonable, maybe I should try to improve that in my armor as a woman. But they don't do that. That's why they don't improve as women, because what do? They ride it off and say you're bashing them. They dismiss it. Instead of addressing the problems that women need to fix to make themselves better, they dismiss it and say you're bashing. And that's exactly what men do when you talk about them sleeping around and shit. If it's something they don't want to hear, they dismiss it and say that you're bashing and this and that, instead of fixing it. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's immune to these problems. Nobody's immune to chinks that be in a person's armor, and nobody's perfect from it. But if you really want to become the best person you want to be, which I feel like what life is really all about, because when you become the best person you want to be, and desire to be, it affects the people around you that are in your life. It benefits them too. But when you really want to become that and tap into that, when you really want to become that and tap into that, that's when you really start to notice self-love too, by the way. So that's when a lot of, if you're a woman, you know, you want a man and shit, but you ain't going to degrade yourself to get one. And that's a good thing, because ultimately, by default, the only way you will get one is basically a good one, because your standards are now higher, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, unfortunately with men, they don't get this. They just don't get it. They don't care. Well, as long as I'm sleeping with them, Twan, who cares? You know what I mean? Oh, you need money here, I got you. But what did I say earlier about high value women? High value women cannot be bought, man. You want women who like you for you. And that's why you have to fix the chinks in your armor. Same thing with y'all women. It's okay. Okay, you can get a man because you look good or sex. We know that. You pretty much get any man on earth with that. But is that your ultimate goal, or do you want a man that really fuck with you? I think I know the answer to that when it comes to when it comes to a woman that's trying to be high value. You know what I mean? She's a work in progress. I already know the answer to that. She doesn't want a man that can actually put more chinks in her armor. And that's one of the biggest, women, just like men, their biggest downfall, or the biggest chinks that be in their armor is women. It's the same thing with women when it comes to men. The biggest obstacle for a woman is the fucking man, picking the right or wrong man. Right now, you can see a woman on her way to college and everything. The only thing that could fuck a woman up that's that focused and really trying to change her life and tapped into being a self-efficient, great woman is a fucking man. I'm telling you, that's the only thing that can stop it. Either that or herself. But if she's already focused on this, obviously she's not in herself's way. So the only thing that could come in that woman's way to fuck her shit up. So if you got a daughter, 20 years old in college or something, listen close, it's a guy. If she ends up liking the wrong guy, that dude can turn her world upside down and ruin her whole entire life. Now she got to play catch up again. After she already been caught up and made it in college, doing great things, now she got to catch up again. And of course, we know that a woman can fuck up a man's life. Not a great woman, not a great man. Don't get it wrong. A great woman or man is going to actually enhance your life. And they're going to make you want to enhance your life and yourself because it rubs off on you. It's an effect. But it can be the opposite too when you pick the wrong person. When you hear, I'm giving y'all good game. When you hear men complain about what they don't like about women, if you are a woman, listen. Don't get offended. Listen to what they are saying. And then ask yourself, well, that makes sense. I can see why a man don't want to take us on dates because other women are using them for dates. Now I see what it is. You don't have to like it. You don't have to agree with it. But if you have a better understanding of why men are doing these things, maybe you be like, okay, this man wants to take me on a date. I'm going to surprise him when he show up and tell him that I want to buy the dinner or something. You see that? Now that man thinking, this girl, yeah, maybe she is different. Maybe she not like the rest. I showed up thinking I was going to have to buy everything. She didn't told me she going to pay for the dinner. Why would a woman do that? Because she understands once she listens to the men cry about what they don't like about women, she knows like, man, I like this guy. I don't want him to think that I'm like the rest of the women, try to use him for a date and go fuck some other guy when I get dropped off because I don't want to sleep with him yet. So, I'm going to pay for the date and shit. I'm telling you, a man's not going to think that you went and fuck Chad and Tyrone after you then, he offered to take you on a date and then when he get there, you talking about you going to pay for the dinner or something? That right there gets you points like, man, this girl might really fuck with me. And now, since he think you might fuck with, you really fuck with him, if he really fucking with you, it's gonna make him even think even harder of fucking with you even more. But unfortunately, it can backfire if you don't do nothing and expect man to do everything. And you might be legit like, I'm a traditional woman that think a man should pay for everything. But you really only go on a date with guys you want to be try to be interested in. But he don't know that. This is why it's important to listen to the man's cry. Now, some men are just crybabies. They just crying about any fucking thing a woman do. I get it. But you still should listen. Because it could be something you could add to your arsenal or your armor as a woman. So when it comes to men, it makes you more attractive. It ain't just about what you look like in sex. Not to a high value man. Not to a high value man. High value man don't want you to show your body to the public. Think about it. That's not what he wants. But if you're a woman that think, well, as long as I have give him sex and I look good, I can act belligerent and do what I want, and this man's going to just sit there and be happy for the rest of his life. No, eventually he's going to say, you know what, I tried, man, I can't do it with her no more. She don't want to help nothing at all. She don't help me with nothing, you know what I mean? And she every time I see her, I got to do a favor for her and this and that. This is why it's important to listen to the man's cry. But guess what? On the flip side, men got to listen to the woman's cry. You know what I'm saying? This is why when I hear y'all women say that men this and I'm tired of this and I'm tired of that, I might speak on it. But I don't get mad at women for expressing that. All I do is listen. I'm all ears. Let me listen what they talking about. Because in order for me to have a woman and make a woman happy, I have to understand a woman. And the only way to really understand a woman is to listen to a woman and try to be reasonable. There's no other way. If I just dismiss it and say, y'all, you just bashing men, man, I ain't trying to hear that shit. You know what I mean? Oh, y'all women do the shit too. I don't care. It'll be a never-ending battle if women and men don't listen to each other and try to understand them. There's no other way around this. But unfortunately, you can't change the world. You can't make everybody listen and have that mindset of listening to women and men and hearing them out, but you can do it for you individually. And there's a man or woman out there doing the same thing as you. And all y'all gotta do is come together and link. Let everybody else blow the whole fucking world up in each other. You just be your Bonnie and Clyde together and y'all good. It ain't about what everybody else is doing. All you need is that one. That's it. I can't change all women. You can't change all men. You just gotta accept it. I seen something earlier about when a man, something about a woman making a man leave the streets. Once again, we are dealing with people who think that they can change that chink in the man's armor. You can't change that. He has to want to change that chink in his armor. These streets are going to kill me or I'm going to end up in jail, dog. I need to take this money and invest it into some legal shit. Legal money lasts longer than drug money. I need to get about this shit. He has to fix that chink. Remember earlier when I said the problem is people don't want to identify their chink or accept the chink that they got in their armor. They don't want to accept it. So they're not going to fix it. See, men don't want to understand why a woman might want to fuck you on the first day, but she can't because it goes back to earlier what I said about the men thinking that a woman might use them for a date. Now the woman might think, you know what, he might just want sex. He think that I owe him sex because he took me out to eat, because most men do think that way. But most men also think, well, she didn't come back to my place, so I'm gonna make her split the bill. Instead of having an understanding, if you had an understanding of women, then you would know, like, maybe she's not doing that because it could be because she's gonna go fuck somebody, but then again, maybe she really like me, right? And she don't want to fuck that up. Or maybe she just that type of woman that don't just do that, which is a good thing. But since a lot of men don't understand women, that's not what they want. They don't understand the value of a woman. They think the value of a woman is looks and sex. That's all they think about. Get some head, dog, blah, blah, blah. You know why, though? A lot of men feel this way. Because in order for a man to really know the value of a woman, he has to know the value of himself first. If he still feels that it's okay to fuck every woman walking around this motherfucker, which as a man, it sounds good on paper. I done said this before. But once you know your value, it don't sound good. You like, wait a minute. Put my private in the same shit that this guy that I know he fucking everybody? Nah, and I know that one got herpes. Nah, I'm good. I can't do it. You see what I'm saying? When a man really knows his value, he thinks differently. So a lot of times a man cannot see y'all value as a woman because he doesn't even see his own value as a man. These are cold, hard facts. And the same thing vice versa with women. So a lot of y'all men crying about, well, why don't she like men who are good for her? A lot of times it's attraction. Then a lot of times it's because she doesn't know the value of her. She don't see the value in her own self. So how could she see it in a man? Just being honest. Just being completely honest with y'all, man. And it goes back to what? Those chinks in your armor. Being able to look at yourself in the mirror. Like, okay, I need to improve here and here. Or some people just don't give a fuck. I don't care if I'm valuable or not. I don't care about me. I don't care if I got all these chinks in my armor. It don't matter because I don't care about me. So how can these type of people who refuse to fix chinks in their armor care about you? They don't care about themselves. They don't care about their kids. Think about it. Some people are really that broken, man. And that comes from not maintenance in your armor. After so long, you get to the point that you just let yourself go. A man 28 years old looking like he's 40 years old. But then you can have somebody 40 years old looking like he's 20 years old. You know, respectively. Not like, I don't want to get carried away, but it's damn sure possible. Motherfucker 60 years old, still rock solid shape. Motherfucker taking care of herself. Identify the things you don't like about yourself, and identify things that are stopping you from becoming greater. One of the things that was stopping me from becoming greater back in the day was smoking. I knew I had to quit smoking weed to drive trucks. Even though I see now the motherfuckers still smoking and driving. I don't know how they do it, but whatever. That's a whole nother story. I knew if I don't stop smoking weed, I won't be able to drive trucks. I could complain about being broke all day long, and you couldn't even get a factory job back then because you had to piss. So I could complain about being broke, but still sit up and play Madden and smoke weed all day. Or I can say, you know what, man, as much as I don't want to let this fucking weed go, man, I have to do this to become greater. I got to let this go to become greater. Remember sacrifices. It could be a man or a woman that you care about so much, but you know that this person's cheating on you and draining you and just making you carry all the weight. But you're going to have to let them go. That was a chink in the armor that you identified, like, you know what? I tried to judge it fairly, but it's definitely them, man. He doesn't want to go to work. We got 2 kids. All he want to do is sit at home and play Madden all day while I go out and work and pay all the bills. Yeah, it's time for him to go. It could be some of your friends. Every fucking time you turn around, they want to go out and kick it. Every time. They never want to talk about doing something positive, none of that. Or productive, should I say. It's every time, let's go kick it, every time. But you, on the other hand, you like, you know what? I'm tired of partying so much and drinking and smoking and shit. This shit kind of making it hard for me to get my shit together or study in school or something. I think I'm going to have to either fall back from them for a while or cut them off. This is where you get that, oh, they think they better than us now. He or she think they better than us now. Nah, they just realized that we all could do better, and y'all didn't want to choose that path. Y'all wanted to stay the same, and I want to become better. I'm going to lead by example. Either you can follow and become great yourself in your own way, or you can stay the same. But don't judge me for changing. A lot of men say it's gay if you don't want to fuck a whole bunch of women. Now, we talking about high quality women, which I know none of these motherfuckers fucking a whole bunch of high quality women, because she requires time and shit like that. So that'd be damn near impossible, you know. But the problem is, the main reason why it ain't about no fucking gay. It's about, to me, if you want to say gay is settling as a man and not reaching your full potential, because part of being a man is trying to build a kingdom. It might not be the Jay-Z kingdom, but it could be your own little kingdom. You can still be doing your thing. So to me, it's feminine to bow down to women, or should I say pussy, and let that control your life. That's feminine. So who's really gay? That's feminine. If you put chasing sex and women over becoming a great ass man, that's feminine. You have bowed down and submitted and say, you know what, I don't care about building generational wealth for my family, for my wife, and my kids. I just want to submit and chase pussy all the time. That's feminine. I don't give a fuck what no man say. How could it not be, dog? You have submitted to resorting to chasing women. And half the time y'all paying for them, which is even worse. That's a chink in your armor you got to fix. You cannot be great and still chase women. I say it all the fucking time. There's not enough time in the day. There's not enough energy. It takes too much energy, too much time to become a great man. So you can't do both. That's why I feel it's best to pick a solid ass woman that's trying to build the same greatness within her that you are trying to build within yourself. You can have time for one woman, and that's even a job. It's even a job to have time and energy and strength for one woman and still do all your shit trying to go out and be great. So I know the men are capping when they say that I'm on my purpose and getting pussy. You're a liar. You are a liar. Why you think a lot of women who be out in the streets think I didn't even think a guy like you existed. Why they think that? Because them type of guys that are on their shit and doing their shit, they not nowhere to be found in the clubs and shit like that. They don't really have time for all that. Maybe they do every now and then, but they don't allow that to become a chink in their armor. So I don't want people who's listening to think that I'm saying if you go to the club or you drink or smoke, that it's a chink in your armor, you're the worst person on earth. No, it's only a chink in your armor if you overdoing it and it stops you from becoming great. If you can smoke weed and become a millionaire, then hey, it's really not a chink in your armor because it did not affect you. Even if you smoke crack and shit. But then again, that affects your health. So, I mean, I guess I can't really say that, right? But say you drink a lot. Hey, if you still becoming great, well, health-wise, it's a chink in your armor. But I guess you still handling your business, right? You just have to identify shit to stop you from, like, say you want to lose weight. We already know what's stopping you from losing weight. It's not necessarily the exercise, it's the fucking shit we eat. So you gotta identify that. You can't. I had some girl, she didn't get mad at me, but we was talking about that on Facebook, and she said it's who you are, your body type. You can eat whatever you want, and I mean, I guess you can to a certain extent. But now you're making excuses to keep doing what you're doing that's actually stopping you from improving as far as losing weight. It's no different than a man who cries that he doesn't have money and all these other things, but yet and still he's gonna keep chasing women. Or he cries about the quality of women he gets, but yet he still tries to move like a 50-year-old kid, and he only tries to deal with women like leading with his wallet or a car or something like that. What you think you're gonna get out of that? Or he only likes women for the wrong reasons. And if you only like them for the wrong reason and you're still able to attract them 9 times out of 10, you're probably gonna get the ones that you're complaining about. Same thing with the women. You only like a dude because he's 6'5" with tattoos or something, and that's it. And then you complain about how men are. Well, your standards are only 6'5" with tattoos. What you think you're gonna get out of that? Don't mean you can't get a 6'5" with tattoos that has all other shit going on. But yeah, man, definitely when it comes to a man, when you start talking like this as a man, they start thinking that you think you're better than them, when really you're just trying to become better. You're just trying to make men become better. Do not move like basic ass dudes. If you move like basic ass dudes, aka the majority of doing the same shit that everybody else is doing, well, you're gonna be a basic ass dude. Same thing with y'all women. You can't move like all women move. You want to move like the women that are doing great things. I think I'm out of here, y'all. Y'all have a good day, man. You have the potential to be great, man. You just gotta be honest with yourself so you can identify the shit you gotta improve on. And the shit that you already got basically good, you're good at, you know what I mean? You just gotta hold that, you gotta maintain it, and if possible, improve it even more. Either maintain the shit that you're good at, or you know what I mean, the shit you winning in, or maintain it or improve it. And then the shit that you're kind of like you're weak at, you gotta improve it. But you gotta be honest with yourself. You can't be like you're 30 pounds overweight, but you're gonna say I'm thick. But if you happy with that, that's fine. But if you are 30 pounds overweight and you feel that you're 30 pounds overweight, you really got to be honest with yourself and say, I got to do something about it. Y'all men, instead of saying all women want gold diggers, why don't you be honest with yourself and say, you know what, I understand why a woman wants a man who has something going for himself, because, you know, they got kids, or she wants to have kids with a man. She doesn't want to carry all the weight. She wants protection, security, and all that. I need to step my game up. Instead of, they just gold diggers, these hoes, all they want is your money. You see that easy cop out? Instead of facing the chink in my armor, I'm gonna blame it on women. Same thing cheaters do. Instead of admitting that I have a problem with cheating on women or men, I'm just gonna blame the women and men that I cheated on. I'm not gonna address the chink in my armor, because nah, never that. It's never me. You see what I'm saying? How can a cheater improve if they don't address the fact that they got a problem? They start reaching for excuses over here, over there, and here and there. Don't be scared to face that person in the mirror, the real you. Because that real you, it's always going to need improvement. Nobody's perfect. So even when you get on your shit all across the board, there's still room for improvement. No matter what, there's always going to be room for improvement. Never be satisfied within yourself of the demands and the standards that you demand for yourself. It's crazy how a lot of people demand everything from everybody else. I demand him have a Benz and all this and all that. But you don't demand it from yourself first. Demand it from yourself first. A lot of y'all men, I don't want a woman in a club every weekend, and a woman that fucked everybody in the whole city. Did you? That's the question I gotta ask these motherfuckers. Did you? Or you gonna get mad at me and say I'm lame or something because I'm speaking the truth? See, you cannot, this is what I don't get. How can you say that you don't want a woman that fucked all the homies, but you fucked all the homies? You got chinks in your armor. You looking at their armor, but you don't want to look at yours. You too busy looking at everybody else's armor instead of yours. See, it's easy to look at the next motherfucker's armor. Look at that armor. Look at that hole in your armor, dog. But I don't want to look at mine, though. I don't want to dress my shit, right? You'll never improve, man. Like, sometimes even new people that come here at my job and I have to train them, they listen for like a couple stores, but then they start getting hard-headed because everything they do wrong, I'm going to point out, right? So they can become better and prepared. But what do? They start getting offended and not listening? Okay. So you know more than I do. Okay, fine. I'm not going to argue with you. At some point, you can only lead a horse to the water and you can't make the motherfucker drink. So it is what it is. Don't listen. You know that. But a smart person understands, I know why he's telling me what I'm doing wrong. So I can become better, so I can improve. Goes back to what I was telling y'all about listening to a woman or listening to the opposite gender. Listening to their cries. So you can have a better understanding of what they want from men. Now, if a woman say, I demand a man pay all my bills and I ain't doing that, that's a whole different, that don't count. We're not talking about, or if a man say she better fuck me on a first date, we're not talking about the bullshit cries. We're talking about the realistic cries. Like a woman saying, I want a real man that love me, but all these men want to fuck me on the first date. That's a cry you should listen to, because a lot of women are crying about that. It's not about listening to how can I say this? Not sure how I'm gonna say that. All I know is this: if all else fails, you can't change all women and men, right? So there's no point in looking at all women and men as a whole and worried about everything they do wrong, right? But if you listen to the cries of women, it can help you when you are trying to deal with somebody. For instance, I already know a woman does not want a man that neglects her 24/7 and plays PlayStation. I already know that. So if I have a woman, I'm going to play PlayStation because I understand a real woman would understand and have an understanding of this makes me happy, it's enjoyment. But at the same time, I'm not going to neglect the woman or the kids or something because I already understand certain things that women like and what they don't like. And that's the same thing with y'all women. You got to listen to the cries of us men so you can understand where other women are erring at so you don't err. You can't change all women. There's still going to be women out here using men for dates. But again, you could be a woman that go on a date with a guy that you really like and offer the tip or something. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. Stand out from the other women. Stand out from basic women. Because looks and sex ain't gonna be enough. That's basic. And that's what men don't get. Muscles, money, and a car. That's basic. But how you gonna become how you gonna stand out from basic ass men if you don't look at your fucking armor? And look at the chinks in your armor. Why does looking at your chinks in your armor as a woman or man make you ultimately be able to potentially become a person that stands out from the basic? Because the basic people don't look at their armor, or they know it's there and they don't acknowledge it or fix it. But you accept the truth and you try to fix it. That's what makes you stand out. I know that I'm a man. Like I said, on paper, it sounds good to fuck a whole bunch of women, but I understand why I shouldn't do it as a man, and I understand how women view it. Especially a high-value woman. Now, a basic-ass woman might actually get turned on by it. She might actually feel like she doesn't want to deal with a man that's not fucking with other women because she likes drama and toxic bullshit. But a high-value woman is not, she don't want a man that entertains a whole bunch of women. So if you men are crying about, I can't get a high value woman, this is why it's important to listen to their cry, and it's important for you to fix the chinks in your armor. Or some of y'all don't demand high value within yourself, so you're not going to demand it as a woman. That's why you're okay with just fucking anybody. It's the truth. You don't demand a woman that's about something because you don't demand it within yourself. Which would be called what? What would we call that? I ain't gonna say not loving yourself, but maybe person not knowing your worth, or you can say not loving yourself too. Self-respect. Self-respect. I'm not buying no woman. I'm not doing it. Because my self-respect allows me to know what my worth is. Therefore, I know I'm worth something special to a woman that will not require me to buy her. Plus, I know, since I know my self-worth because of self-respect, I also know the worth of a woman, which means I know a woman who is really worth dealing with cannot be bought. She's worth more than money. Y'all see how when you understand the worth of yourself, you start to understand the worth of other people too? Because it goes hand in hand. But if you don't care about the worth of yourself, then you're okay with dealing with a woman that just fucked 2 guys the other night. You don't care. A lot of them don't even wear rubbers. And they got kids everywhere. That's why. No self-respect. But we gonna judge the women though for having kids like that, but not us. Oh no, never us. It's the woman's fault, right? Ain't that what the men say? Even though it was your job to put on the fucking rubbers, the woman's fault, right? I'm gonna leave this video alone because I don't got nothing more to say on the topic for now. But don't be scared or offended by things that you need to improve as a person. That's the moral of the story, because in order for you to improve them, you have to face them. You know what I'm saying? You have to face things that you need to fix about yourself. Maybe you feel like I could be a better parent. I don't spend enough time with my kids, man. I've been partying way too much. You know what I mean? A woman or a person in general that feels like they want to become a better parent, they're going to look at that. They're going to look at what they've been doing, and they're going to be honest with themselves. Like, you know what? I have been, you know, kind of neglecting my kid a little bit, man. Now, y'all go ahead and kick it for a while. I think for a couple months, I'm cool on kicking it. But a person who don't want to look at the chinks in their armor and shit, you know, they're going to find an excuse. They're going to find an excuse to keep doing what they do. That's what they do. They find an excuse instead of solutions. It ain't the weed why I'm broke. It's because of this, this, and this. Knowing damn well most of your money go on that weed. But that's not why you struggling, is it? Why? Because you don't want to let go of the weed. So it's easy to point at the other shit that you don't give a fuck about. But when it comes to the shit you do care about, now you want to play dumb and act like that's not the problem. I'm going to leave y'all on this note. Usually our biggest problem is us. It's ourself. It's that person in the mirror. That's your competition. That's the person that's standing in your way. Nobody else. So a lot of times when you are having problems in life, or you don't like how your life is and all these other things, most of that is because of that person in the mirror. I'm not saying shit don't happen. I'm not saying that, you know, everything's your fault, but most of it is, dog. And most of it can be fixed or improved by that person in the mirror. That person you look at in the mirror. Y'all have a good one.